Alright, this is the OEM ignition switch. It is taken apart, as you can see. There's going to be a lot of stuff in my videos where it's already taken apart, just because stuff like, if you want to figure out how something goes together, there are some things where if you try to figure out how to do it, you have to just do it. And there have been so many times where I've just gone and done something. I haven't had time to set up a camera or whatever, and I don't have time to, be moving cameras around, zooming in and out, like setting stuff up. I just want to figure out how it comes apart. But now it's apart. I'm not going to put it back together just to make a video because I'm trying to get something running. I'm not going to do that. So there's going to be a lot of stuff where it's just already taken apart. But I took this apart. I cannot figure out what is wrong with it. This is the, I don't know if I already said, this is the ignition switch. You would have a lock cylinder that goes on the other side of this. So your key would go in. Your lock cylinder is what, prevents someone from just sticking a screwdriver in here and turning it, because you can see the end of it that sticks out. It's just got a little slot that your key fits into. You have these copper contacts that slide around on the face of these little nubs. Bring it a little closer so you can see. I cannot figure out why this switch isn't working. But what we're gonna do, since this is the last thing, I've checked everything else. I cannot figure out why the car won't start. So this is the last thing. What we're going to do is just going to take this $15 universal starter switch, and we're just going to splice it into this pigtail. If it works, then I'll know that the switch was indeed bad, and then maybe I'll start saving up to buy an OEM replacement. But for now, this will allow me to start the car. I'll probably just tape this underneath the actual lock cylinder. The only problem I'm running into is that there are 6 wires on this, and there are only 4 terminals. 2 of these are for ignition. There's like 2 ignition wires, 2 battery wire. Yeah, 2 battery. These are the battery wires, I believe. 2 of these are ignition, and then 1 is accessory, and 1 goes to the starter. So I believe that if I double up the 2 battery wires and the 2 ignition wires on their respective terminals, it should work. But for now, I need to start by cutting the wires off of this. Oh, no. There's dielectric grease on that, and I don't want that on the carpet. It's not my carpet. Alright, so somehow I just need to put eyelets on the end of these. And the plan is to just double them up on the same terminal. Fingers. Oh, there we go. There we go. Yeah, now I just gotta do that 4 more times. been looking up on several forums which wires do what, and I have found some forums that said that like one of the ignition wires runs the starter and one of them runs the run stuff, and then others that say that the ST terminal on that does the starter, which is what I would think it would be. But apparently none of the sources online can agree, so we're just going with this and hoping I don't fry something. The two white wires down here with the red stripes on them are actually for the lock cylinder. I believe it's that they're tied to the door chime, so like when you leave your key in, you turn it off and you open your door, the ding ding, that's what they are there for. They complete the key completes the electrical circuit between them when it's in the lock cylinder, and then when it's out it doesn't do that. However, mine does it anyway, so I think I might have broken something. However, that is all wired up. In theory, the car should now start. Let's go find out. Alright. Put all my messy stuff up top. Hope I grabbed the right key. And it is. Screw it. We're just gonna try and see if the car will start. I'm sorry, did I say start? I meant crank. I literally just want it to crank. Oh. That's right, that's not attached to anything. Hopefully. Ooh, we have that. All right, so we have a deeper underlying problem. I mean, I have everything connected. And what that tells me is that the ignition switch was fine. And now I have no idea what the issue is. Oh, that was a disappointment. Just discovered that the window does not go inside the track all the way. Oh, of course I locked it. But yeah, no matter what I do, it sits outside of that track, and that does not please me. I've tried pushing it back up, but it just doesn't. And even if I were to succeed in getting it all in, it's not going to stay that way if I close the door. So I'm going to have to address that at some point, because that kind of irks me. At least the door locks. Alright, so I have a new starter. Now I don't know if this is the reason why the car won't start, but the other one I tested it on the battery. I could get the Bendix to slide out, but the motor wouldn't actually spin. So I just took it out. This is a brand new starter. I had them tested. It works I will not be able to film myself putting it in because it's getting dark out and I don't have a lot of ways to, I mean, I guess I could put it on the hood. I might just do that, I don't know. You won't be able to see much. I'd have to move this after I started. So yeah, I'm just gonna put it in. Raining outside, it's dark, but I want to see if this car will start. I gotta know. I gets to know. Oh, hey there. What's your name, you pretty little thing? Thing looks like it's hanging on for dear life. Why he chose the door, I do not know. So that doesn't matter apparently. But let's see. We can't get her to start. I'm gonna have an interesting time doing this one-handed. Because I gotta like hold the body of the thing. Alright. So either I got this switch wired wrong, so it wasn't the starter. That makes me less than happy. Was not the starter at all. And I replaced all those fuses. I honestly don't know what it could be at that point. I discovered that's the flasher relay today. So the only thing that I don't know what it is that's not accounted for is this thing right here, and I'm pretty sure it's not removable. At least I don't think it is. Doesn't look like it comes out. I don't know what that does. Honestly, I have no idea what it could be at this point, but a starter that we know works, battery that we know works. All the grounds have been redone. Honestly, at this point, I'm at a loss at this point. All right, so a bit of an update. I haven't solved my ignition problem. I still can't get it to start with the key. However, I went and spliced, like T-spliced, an 8-foot ignition wire from parts store, and I managed to get it started by touching it to this green, the terminal with the green and black wire over here. Basically, you know, jumping the ignition. I'm gonna go get my tripod and set it up outside the car so that you guys can see it start. But I did get this thing to start. Super happy about that. Haven't fixed what's wrong with the ignition system. What that tells me is that, because I took the wire off, that's what this wire is right here. It's just hanging there. That's supposed to go to the starter. And I touched it to the terminal with the green and black on it, which tells me that there's a break somewhere in the system, and it's not the fuse. Although I did manage to blow that by hooking the wrong wire up in an attempt to figure out if I had just wired it wrong. So I took the DRL, this is the old fuse. As you can see, that's blown. I took the DRL fuse out and put it in the room slot, which is what runs the starter. So somewhere in the ignition system is a break in the wire, but I'm gonna go get my tripod so you guys can see this. Tripod. Maybe. Yes, there we go. We're also gonna put some coolant in her because that reservoir is empty. At my level, any oil in this, I'll feel safe starting. Oh, we're fine. Can you hear? Can you hear that? Can you hear that? That is a running engine. And she seems to be running fine too. Oh yeah. This is probably the first time it's run in years. At least months. But listen to that. Yes, I know it's low on fuel. I think I got like a partial gallon in it. But we are idling steady. So what this means is that there is a break somewhere in the starter circuit. Because that is literally straight off the starter solenoid specifically. I did not see, I knew it could run. I did not see any reason why it wouldn't start. So this means that it is literally just in the starter circuit. There is a break in the starter circuit specifically. I have a new OEM ignition switch ordered. I didn't want to get one. I was hoping, I figured if I couldn't get it started on a universal switch, then I probably wouldn't get it started at all without some extensive digging. I'm half tempted to try and feed this wire through the firewall inside and just connect it to like splice it into the hot wires with like a push button or something like that. But yeah, she runs. Getting warmer. She's idling well. She's not smoking yet. Of course, she's not up to temp. I think that gauge has moved up. I'm not entirely certain. But just listen to her. She runs well. She runs very well. Now I just need to figure out why the key won't work. It works to turn the car on, clearly. I mean, it's not like I have the other wires spliced. You can see that there. It's literally just the starter wire. And I don't know if that starter wire goes through like the fuse box or anything. I don't know where it goes, so I don't know if there's a break in the wire somewhere. But clearly it is just the starter circuit that isn't working. And that doesn't please me. I haven't tried revving this thing yet. I don't like how that, I don't like the delayed revving, but my goodness. Now this still means I can't get it inspected, because unless it starts with the key, I don't think it'll pass inspection. Although there are a lot of inspection stations where it just has to run basically, and it has to have all your turn signals and whatnot. But it runs. It runs, and that's a little concerning. That's weird. It wasn't doing that before. Oh. It's because the lights are on. Yeah, sometimes my own stupidity. Yeah, that was just because I had the lights on. Sometimes my own stupidity frightens me. But yeah, I'll put together the rest of the video, and yeah, it's running. That makes me so happy. All right, see if the camera will focus. You can kind of see it up there. I spliced that red cable in. Oh snap, my tape came undone. That tape was to keep it there. Comes up to there. I tied it to this random air hose to just keep it there, routed it behind the windshield wiper motor. Tied it to that ground wire away from, the end of it. Routed it inside the fender. Goes through right there. I did test it. It does not seem to crimp the wire too much, so I should be safe for now. Routed it behind there. It comes out. Then I spliced it into the connector. The reason I did that is so that when I replace that, because you see I cut the pigtail off of the OEM switch and just kind of crimped it into connectors and put it on that. So when I get a new switch, I can just unplug this whole thing and just plug the new one in, and I won't have to I won't have to cut apart the new switch and splice that new wire, that red wire, into it. But you can see I've got it taped up. It is somewhat solid. Luckily it does not take too much force to turn this key, but I can put the key in the ignition. I got dash lights. I have a running car. It's like What time is it? It is 10:28. But I've got a running car. I'm going to put fuel in this out of a gas can that I have, and then take her off the jack stands and move her over to my other car. There we go. Alright, YouTube. Just a quick ending to this video. The total amount of clips in this video have spanned probably about 3 weeks, maybe. But car is running. Car is running. It's driving. I just drove it down to Valvoline to get it inspected, and they refused to inspect it. Not because of the Jimmy rigged ignition switch. No. That's not why they refused to inspect it. They refused to inspect it because of that. How even? Oh, water can get down in there, and it can get inside the taillight. What does it matter if water gets down in there? Unless it hits the light bulb, the light functions. It still functions. And they said water can get down in there. Yeah, it will get down there, and it'll run this way and drop off the end of it. But yeah, they refused to inspect it because that's chipped, and I told her, look, I don't know what I'm gonna do, because like they don't make that anymore. I can go find a parts car, and it's probably gonna be in about the same condition. They didn't get me for the bumper. No. They got me for that little chip right there. And they didn't. That was before they didn't even get it in. So still not inspected, which means I can't get registration for it, which means I can't legally drive it on the road yet, even though I just did. But she's running. She's driving. Yeah, I'm surprised that they didn't see this and, you know, refused to inspect it for that. Oh, watch this. This is cool. This is the first car I've ever had with a working sunroof. Kind of, maybe. There we go. Wait. Sunroof. Let's see if it'll close. It closes just fine. It doesn't like to open. Now, the next order of business is to clean out the belongings of the previous owner. Not all of that is from the previous owner. The tools and the air compressor are mine as I was working on the car, but they got stuff in there. Something my car doesn't have is the trunk switch. Pretty sure I covered that in the first video on this car. There's stuff in the trunk, including the broken pieces of the bumper. Still don't know whether I want to go to the trouble of trying to plastic weld this thing back together, or if I just want to chop it off. I'm tempted to just trim it where the bumper cover meets the actual bumper and just trim the whole thing so that it's just the bumper. It also has a compact disc changer. First vehicle I've owned with that. I wonder if there's actually any discs in there. Don't know if the sound system works yet. I do know that the AC works, surprisingly. AC works. Sunroof kind of works. Car runs. So, I mean, once I get this thing legal, it'll be time to actually start the build, because right now I've just been getting running. Next, I'm gonna start the build, but you know, that's the end of this video. That was the point of this video, was to get it running, and now it is. Stay tuned for the chaos about to ensue.